Dina. Look, I hate monitor names. I mean, like, look at this. What's really going on here? You think for the rest of the video, we could just call this the C50? You sure? Man, that's a great idea. I'm glad you came up with it. So the C50 is a 49-inch curved, super ultra wide 1440p panel that offers 120 Hz and AMD FreeSync for the gamers. My bad, I had to get all them buzzwords out. I mean,
yay, algorithm.
Let's get the boring stuff out of the way. The stand is pretty sturdy. There's a hole here for cable management. Just stuff it in there. I do like the fact that they offer height, tilt, and pan adjustment. You'd have to be a psycho killer to want to run this vertically mounted, but if you do, it is VESA compatible, so you can mount it however you want. When it comes to input, you have Duo DisplayPort 1.4 and HDMI 2.0, but doubled up. Sadly, with the HDMI, you'll only get 60 Hz at this full resolution, but both DisplayPort options will get you those super fast frame rates. There is an included headphone jack if you have no better way to connect your cans, or if you don't want to use the built-in speakers. Now in the past, I may have been a little tough, maybe what some would even call a hater of built-in monitor speakers. If you want to keep your desk set up as minimal as possible, or you simply can't afford something as cheap as the Pebble speakers, hold up, let's stop the cap. If you can afford this, then you can afford some speakers, even those cheap Pebbles. Just do better. So what's it like sitting down and trying to tame this massive beast? If you look back at some of my early reviews, I had a dual 24-inch 1080p monitor setup. This is bigger than that. It's about the equivalent of two 27-inch 1440p monitors side to side, but without any bezel in the middle. Ironically, the 1800R curve does add to that immersion factor. But when I think about my two monitor setup, I kept them turned in so that I would have the best viewing angles, and that mimics the curve on this monitor. Back to the bezel. They do advertise an edgeless design, but it's more like slightly less than edgeless. Using it as my main Windows monitor just allows me to get my full multitask on. I can write a script on one side while editing a thumbnail on the other. I can even work on a video on the West Wing while mixing down upcoming Crew 5.4 tracks on the opposite end. I mean, it doesn't stop there. Using those input ports, you can keep one side a standard 1440p window screen while connecting the console and gaming the night away. It would be nice if there was a built-in KVM switch so you could connect two PCs and control them with one keyboard and mouse combo. I wish it was built in, but maybe that's something they can add to future revisions. But this is a gaming monitor, right? So what exactly is it like gaming at a ridiculous resolution like this? The easy answer is that is dope. Loading up Forza Horizon 5 gives you an almost VR type of vibe, as no matter where you look, you have screen in your field of view. Games like Riders Republic look amazing when you're flying down snow-filled mountains, nailing tricks like a Red Bull Pro. But for me, it's not all good, especially when it comes to FPS games. You know, the kind of games I play all the time. Sure, your character is basically the same size, and you have more of the battlefield to see, but it places your HUD items way in the corner, and overall, I just didn't care for it. This takes me back to multitask perform as I switch to a standard 1440p 16:9 window, and then I have separate screen space for browsers, OBS, whatever I see fit. If you're a streamer or someone who usually works with multiple windows open, you really don't need me to sell you on just how valuable all this extra screen real estate can be. Take, for example, the dual input picture-by-picture mode. If you're a console gamer, you can plug in your system by HDMI, have it in one window while having a full-size window screen in another. Oh man, I love it. Now, let's talk about the quality of the panel itself. This is a VA monitor, which I've called in the past the best of both worlds, between IPS and TN panels, but really it's more like a compromise. You get better color reproduction and viewing angles than most TN panels, and you get somewhat better contrast ratios and response times than most IPS panels. But they genuinely suffer from their own issues like ghosting and motion blur, and just aren't as color accurate as some professionals need. As far as ghosting, I went in and made sure that the built-in overdrive feature was turned off. As with most monitors, they throw in these modes so they could report those mythical response rates on the box, but in my experience, they do way more to hurt the gaming experience than to actually help it. Back to colors. Personally, I can see the difference in color accuracy when switching to this from my previous IPS panel, which I didn't think was the most accurate unit, but still leaps beyond this. But for editing simple YouTube videos or something where industry level grading isn't an absolute must here, this will get the job done. As for watching movies and videos, I don't do a lot of it in full resolution, but I do like it. Games are colorful and vibrant, and even though HDR on Windows seems more like an afterthought, it's getting better and becoming more of a viable option. I don't do a lot of console gaming, but Switch games look great and play fast on this monitor at 60 Hz. Now this unit comes with a remote, which for me is always a blessing, even though I didn't use it much in my review period. The menu cluster is dead center, which I wasn't used to, but on a monitor with this much girth, it's appreciated because it's easy to reach. The menu items are pretty standard. In the quick start, you can switch between different preset options or change the source, or go into the system menu to change overdrive, FreeSync, and HDR options. For the most part, I used this on the standard preset with FreeSync on, but I adjusted the gamma from 2.2 to 2.0 as it just felt more natural with the screen brightness. All right, now let's wrap it up. There are things that I love about this unit and things that I feel can be improved on. Let's start with those. While the bezel on here is thin, I wouldn't mind it being even thinner. Also, I appreciate it having multiple inputs, but I wish it had that built-in KVM switch. Other than that, for my lifestyle, I really do like this monitor. It feeds that ADHD monster inside that loves having multiple screens, tabs, and windows open at the same time. Even on my standard 27-inch monitor, I would make my gaming window smaller so I can have a YouTube video side by side. The C50 allows me to have full-size windows for both. For the price, I really like what Sceptre is bringing to the table. If they can find a way to improve peak brightness and color accuracy on future models, I think this would be ideal for multitasking professionals looking for a space to game and be productive. Even so, I enjoy having this much screen space and the ability to game in 1440p at high frame rates. Now I gotta get up out of here, but before I go, I need your help. I'm getting ready to pack this up and ship it back to Sceptre, but I want y'all to just go crazy dumb down in the comments. Just leave me questions, comments, anything so that they can see just how dope this audience is. I'm working on a crazy setup that I would love to bring to you guys, and I wish I could have this, so we're gonna work some things out and see what's good. Also, down in the comments, let me know what monitor are you using in your current setup. If it's a laptop, a portable monitor, are you still gaming at 1080p? Are you using a TV? Whatever it is, let me know. I'm gonna get up out of here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and never forget to holla at your boy. Come here, Lily.